Good morning, good morning, good morning, Black people, allies of Black people, people who love Black people. Good morning. It is super extra early in the morning, and you have two non morning persons on the line with you. But we love each other and we love our people so much that we are here today for Black Love Day, a day of healing. Are you ready to get this in, Danielle?
Yes, yes.
So, I am Vahisha Hassan. I will be your hostess with the mostest for the next 2 hours for Black Love Day, a day of healing. All day long today, you're going to have just a stream of people who are coming from different healing modalities, ways that we rock with Black people, that we heal Black bodies, that we sit in healing communities one with another. And we are just going to love on each other all day. So let me start my lovely, wonderful
Yes, yes.
friend, colleague, clergy woman in the street, comrade. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning. So good to see you, my sister. So good to see you. Thank you
So
so much
good.
for this invitation to be here.
Yay. And I love you. So let's let the loving just start. So just to frame
Awesome.
a little more out of the day. So Black Lives Matter, Louisville, the healing team and trauma response for crisis care for movements are vibrating all day for a healing day. We are officially dropping our healing fund, and we have a hashtag trust Black women, but we hashtag love Black women, and we want them to be well. Do we not want us to be well? So, supporting hashtag Black Femme Healing, we are happy to announce a fund that will support the healing needs of Black femmes, which is great. Black femme bodies basically hold it down. So, how can we hold up, lift up, sit in solidarity and support with these Black femme bodies? So, there's going to be a fund just for that. A couple of ways that the fund is going to flow. So obviously, you think about things like massages and therapy and just all different types of wellness practices. So those are options, right? So we want to make sure that there are no barriers for Black femme bodies to receive healing methods that they need. That's one side, right? But then on the flip side, we have quite
Right.
a disparity. Yeah, we have quite a disparity in the Black bodies able to offer healing and wellness to Black bodies, right? So one of those barriers are the costs associated with like state mental health, social work licensure, relevant certifications depending on what state or what land you are situated on. And so for various modalities of healing, not just mental health and social work. So because of that, these are like really hidden and lesser known costs that hamper access to Black bodies healing Black bodies. So the fund will also support those. So if you are a student, if you plan to be a student, if you're about to go into licensure and you were like, oh, okay, I thought I was just going to have to fill out this state application. I thought I was just going to have to pay for this license, but you find out that you need to pay for supervision hours, which can be very expensive, but they don't even tell you that till you get in school, right? So there are lots
That's
of
it. That's
yeah, there are
it.
lots of hidden costs, and this makes it an equity issue, an access issue. So we want Black bodies to be able to access the wellness, and we want Black bodies to also be able to access the pathways to being a practitioner, a clinician, whatever way. I mean, even if you want to become a massage therapist, but you gotta pay for all these classes, right? You gotta buy a table, you gotta get some oil,
Right.
you gotta get some things. It takes money out here in
Right.
this we are the land of capitalism in order to do the things. So we want to provide access for that. So hashtag trust Black women, hashtag love Black women, and we're gonna get this fund going. So we'll drop links throughout the day for the GoFundMe to make that available. And we're gonna get this love party started. Cool?
Cool, cool.
All right. So people should know BLM Louisville, right? Because the folks been out here
Right.
out here in these streets, out here in these legislative streets, out
Yes.
here healing Black people body streets, out here in these like feed the Black people streets, out here taking back, reclaiming land and neighborhoods. We out here. Now, I'm originally from Charlotte, but I have been super, super
Yes.
blessed able to rock down with the Black Lives Matter Louisville folk. And we appreciate your work. We appreciate your Black bodies. We appreciate your Black heartbeats. We appreciate your labor. We appreciate your sacrifice. We appreciate your love. And we appreciate your joy all at the same dang time. Right? Because we are not just bodies of resistance, but we are also bodies of great joy, also bodies of great resilience. So here we are all together. So I was able to come into a relationship. I already knew some Black Lives Matter Louisville folk, but coming into direct comrade relationship through Track for Movements, that's trauma response and crisis care. This is a project responding to trauma in social movements, providing community care, triage trauma, crisis response on front lines, healer trainings, education. We just do a whole random sets of things, supporting artists, activists, social movements. We believe that we are in a socio-political moment which multiplies, at this point, exponentially, right? The impact and trauma and burnout for activists and community organizers. We see this as equivalent to a public health crisis, and one that we and Track for Movements as healing care providers have a responsibility to respond. And it is a responsibility, but just also a great calling, I feel like, right? So that's how I rock with it. This is the work my soul must have, as our ancestor, Dr. Katie Cannon says. So we have a responsibility to respond in an organized, ethical, and coordinated way. That is all the good language from our website. And I would say strategic, because that's how I get down in these streets. All right. So that is who I'm on the line representing and rocking with. And I want to introduce you to Danielle and what's going to happen today. So all day long in 2-hour blocks, people say 2 hours, starting right here at the height of the daylight savings time. We ain't had no sleep.
That's right. That's right.
Right. We moved our clocks forward. So if y'all are spiritualist folks, if y'all are churchy folks, if y'all are whatever your Sunday look like, listen, it is 9:18 out here in these East Coast streets. So get where you are supposed to be at the right time. Okay. Now for Danielle and I, it is 8:18. So listen, 8:18 in the morning. We're a little tired, but we again are full of great joy to be able to spend this time together. So Danielle and I, how do we originally meet?
This we met Vahisha because of this wonderful, awesome, phenomenal Lent devotional that my sister toiled over for years, that came into fruition and has been absolutely phenomenal. That's how we met.
That was the first meeting? Okay. So this was Recipiscence. This was a publication done in conjunction with oh Lord, I done forgot from the streets. Lord, help me, Nicola, with my beautiful Nicola Torres.
Dismantling a Lenten devotion for dismantling white supremacy.
That is right. See, that's why I need more sleep. And so with this, we took all kind of folks who like, we don't, you're not about to define our Christianity. This is how we look at this. This is our faith construct. So we did this whole Lenten devotional on dismantling white supremacy and how the text has been used, how the Bible, right, has been used as a tool of white supremacy, and then also how it can be a tool of liberation as well, if we stop rocking with the white supremacist things built into it. So we did this Lenten devotional. Danielle submitted this super dope, Danielle submitted this super dope piece, and it was all about not leaving behind trans bodies. It was amazing. So if you've never, you should have. right? But if you've never heard anything about a trans body in the context of how Jesus would love and support that body and what that would look like, then you gotta hear Danielle's piece. We'll maybe talk about that later. The important part is this is how we met, and we became in community.
Cool.
Grateful for her, and she's been so supportive of me, even personally, in really many ways, and that's healing for me. So let me start there. I want to appreciate you for the healing, appreciate you for the way that you show up in the world and the heartbeat that you are, and you are just lovely and amazing. And I'm going to read your whole bio. Is that okay?
Oh, thank you.
Because I love you.
So sweet. Okay. Love. I'm sending hugs through the screen.
I'm receiving. Okay. So Danielle Bahuro is an ordained clergy member of the United Church of Christ, currently serving as a CPE, and that's clinical pastoral education. Thank you. Serves as a clinical pastoral education supervisors at 2 hospitals in Chicago. As a Black, queer, same gender loving person, Danielle Bahuro is committed to activism in the areas of race, gender, and sexuality. She is currently a PhD student at Chicago Theological Seminary, where her dissertation focus is on social media violence, specifically against Black heterosexual women, Black transgender women, and Black Muslim women. Say that. The violence. Woo! Danielle Bahuro is also an author, recently published Spiritual Care in an Age of #Black Lives Matter, examining the spiritual and prophetic needs of African Americans in a violent America. You can find Danielle on Facebook at Danielle Bahuro. Her name is on the screen. Look her up. Give her all the good shout outs. Share this broadcast and say you met this amazing, dope, Black queer woman out here with the healing for our folks. And you can find her on Twitter also at DABUHURO1. So Bahuro1. All right. And more info is also on Facebook at Black Care Matters. So this is why, just even hearing a little bit about her, and you don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be anything, right? Like, that's not what this is about. Faith shows up in the way that it is supposed to show up for you. And we honor that. I definitely honor that. I know Danielle honors that. But what this is about is tools and pathways for healing. What can healing look like in Black bodies? So the way all the tools that are available to you. Absolutely. Listen, don't let nobody tell you no piece and parcel about what you deserve, right? Right. So Danielle,
right.
Can you just give a little shout out, anything that you would like to say further in any way about yourself that you would want someone to know or to feel, to say, just anything before we get started?
No, you've done great. This is awesome. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much for your warm hospitality and your warm introduction. I'm ready to get into it. Let's do it.
Thank you. Well, we Southern, so we set the table. When the Southern folks set the table, we set the table. You heard me? That's our Southern.
That's it.
Molasses goodness. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Awesome. So one of the things that we're going to do today, obviously, we're going to talk about this fun. We want to get this healing access to Black folks, but we're going to start with the healing practice. So for the next 5-10 minutes or so, Danielle is going to both frame out what a grounding is, what a healing practice can be, just anything you want to share about that. And then she's actually going to start our day and walk us through a very specific way that we can access healing in our Black bodies. Take us away, Danielle.
Awesome. I am so excited about this opportunity. First, family, do me a favor. I have something magical. I have something wonderful. I have something that is so powerful. You want to know what it is? It's this. It's a pen. First and foremost, family, I'm going to ask that you quickly Go find a pen. Now, also, do me a favor. Go find some paper. I don't know if you have a journal around or a writing pad. Do me a favor. Go find a pen and paper. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to quickly go do that. And while you're doing that, I want to talk about something very important. It is so important to remember that there are a number of ways in which we need to care for ourselves in the midst of police brutality, in the midst of racism, sexism, homophobia, classism, transphobia, patriarchy. There are several ways that we need to be whole and healthy. And so there's this wonderful word that I love. I love to say this word. This word is called resilience. There are wonderful strategies and interventions that we can practice to help us be resilient. First and foremost, my beloved brothers and sisters, I want to ask you to think about what are the ways we can be resilient. Well, resilience looks like, I'm going to run off some wonderful strategies and interventions. I'd like for you to quickly jot these down with your pen and paper and practice these. Resilience looks like listening to good music, laughing. When was the last time you laughed? Smiling, gratitude, thinking about all that is well with you and having a spirit of gratitude, taking a walk outside, sitting back, looking at a piece of art, talking about your feelings, sharing your thoughts. All of these strategies and interventions are wonderful ways to support resilience. And so I want to ask you to do me a favor. I need you to create what I call a resiliency calendar. That's right. A resiliency calendar. You're going to create a calendar. You can name it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And you're going to think about what is a strategy or intervention that you can do every day to promote your own sense of resiliency. You can pick one of the ideas I named earlier, or you can pick something different that I never named. For example, exercising, eating healthy food, thinking positive thoughts. Do me a favor, family. Do me a favor. Every day, from Sunday to Saturday, you need to be practicing some sort of healing act of resiliency. And you're going to set an alarm in your iPhone. If you have an Android, that means that something's not right with you. If you have an iPhone, that means you're a wonderful person. You could do something like even set an alarm in your phone to say, I need to practice some sort of activity focused on resilience. I haven't done my resiliency activity today. Make sure, family, make sure you do that. That is so important. Something else that's helpful. Now, my favorite strategy of all is with this object, and this object right here. You put these two objects together, I'm telling you, something powerful happens. I want to invite you. I'm going to show you a slide. I want to invite you to write a letter to you. Do me a favor. Can we do this in these moments, family? I would love for us to do this in these moments. I would love to do this. Go with me now, family. Go with me. I'm going to be quiet for a moment. I want you to pull out some paper. Pull out your pen and write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to yourself. Nobody's going to see this letter. So you can do whatever you want to write in this letter. And there are two questions I want you to ask. Now, let's do this together, okay? I'm going to give you the first question. I'm going to give you the first question. In some sense, we know in the midst of police brutality, in the midst of racism, in the midst of various challenges this in life for us today, life didn't go the way we expected it to go. And sometimes a painful reality that we have to face. That's difficult. That's hard. That's hard to have to come face to face with the notion that what I planned for my life, what I thought this quote unquote American life would be, has not been the case. There's this thing called police brutality that's shown up. There's this thing called racism, homophobia, sexism that's taken over. And so now, my brothers and sisters, we are in a space and place where we're struggling with this idea that life didn't turn out the way it was supposed to be. Do me a favor. We need to express that. We need to get that out. Take a couple of breaths with me. You mind? Close your eyes for a second. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And keep practicing these breathing exercises for a moment while your eyes are closed. Take a moment to center yourself for a second. And now, as you begin to open your eyes, I'd like for you to grab your pen and on your paper. If you don't mind, we'll do this together. Write your feelings. How are you feeling about all that's been happening in our world today? What didn't happen that was supposed to happen? What didn't happen that was supposed to happen? Write that on your paper. And just free write and let your pen go. Don't think about it, just write. I'm going to give you a few moments to write, and I'll be quiet and ask that we have a few brief moments of silence. Feel free, brothers and sisters, to write. Don't hold back. Share your feelings on this paper. No one's going to see it but you. Your feelings matter. Your feelings are valid. Share that thing that's been keeping you up at night. share that thing that you dare not utter aloud. That thing that nobody knows. It's a secret between you and you only. Express all of those emotions that have been weighing you down. Sad, mad, scared, pissed, frustrated, aggravated, annoyed. If you want to yell, that is welcome. If you want to curse, that is welcome. If you just need to write, damn, that's okay. Write it. Keep breathing while you're doing this exercise. Good job. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. Don't stop writing. There's still time. I want to celebrate you. Thank you for your openness. Thank you for your vulnerability. Way to go. Do me a favor. Give yourself a hand clap. That's right. Clap for yourself. Celebrate yourself. Affirm yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Now. Now. You got your feelings out. If you're still writing, no worries. Keep writing. Don't let me stop you. Now, I'd like to invite you to write a response to another question. You've gotten your feelings out about what didn't happen. You shared your sadness, your anger, your frustration. Now, I'd like for you to share, what do you have now? What is now? What is left? What is left? What is now? Write on your paper all of your wonderful gifts. What makes you you? Nobody's going to see this. This is just for you. Begin now. What is left? What is now? You have something inside of you. All is not gone. What are your gifts? What are your skills? What do you do well? What makes you you? Write it on the paper, family. Why do we write? Keep writing. Allow me to just talk to you for a second. Why do we write? Why is writing a healing strategy in the midst of all of the oppression we face today? Because we have so much that we are carrying inside of us, so much that we're holding, so much pain, so much trauma. Writing helps us pull it out. Writing helps us externalize all of that which we have internalized. Writing helps us to connect to something. You may have been feeling discouraged. You may find yourself dangling in despair. But writing about your strengths, about your gifts, about all that you have done for yourself reminds you that all is not lost. Writing helps us understand our pain in relationship to the world. We have to acknowledge it. We can't sweep it under the rug. We can't pray it away. We can't praise it away. Writing helps us to acknowledge the pain. And so this is such an important moment. Last but not least, I want you now to look at your paper. Look at all of the wonderful gifts you named. Look at all of those wonderful strengths you named. Guess what that is? That's your toolbox. That is your toolbox. When I was a kid, I used to love to go fishing. I haven't went fishing in a while. I need to get back into it. But I love fishing. Why do I love fishing? I love fishing because all you need is your toolbox. In your toolbox is everything that you need. You got your bait, you got your hooks, you got your line. So you open your toolbox and you find everything that you need. Now, the wonderful irony about fishing is you take your toolbox with you as preparation, not knowing what problem you'll actually face or experience when you actually start fishing. And so this toolbox provides wonderful care for you when a problem arises. And so in some sense, as you look at your paper, as you look at your journal, as you look at the words you wrote on your paper about your strengths, about what you have now, about what's left, this is your toolbox. Family, when you're feeling low, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling down and out, when it seems as if the weight of the world becomes too overbearing, I invite you to write and create your toolbox. Write wonderful statements to yourself, reminding yourself of all that you have now, all that is left. And then could I ask you to do another favor for me? When you wake up in the morning, I would love for you to find that paper, that journal, that book where you wrote all of your wonderful gifts and talents. I'd love for you to read it out loud to yourself. Look in the mirror in the bathroom. Stare directly at your beautiful brown face and say, I am loved. I am gifted. I am talented. And begin to read all of your wonderful gifts to yourself. If you don't mind, I'd ask you to do this practice in the morning, right before you start your day, and at night, right before you go to sleep. This is a wonderful healing practice. It reaffirms all of your wonderful, all of your wonderful skills, all of your wonderful talents. Thank you, family. Thank you.
Whew. So I have my I gotta wave it so he can't screenshot what I said.
Hey, hey.
Since you said no one is going to read my journal, read my letter to myself. So good. So good. Let's take a couple more breaths just to ground us through what our bodies just felt doing that, our hearts let out, what we allowed ourselves to feel in these moments and in these words. So let's take a deep breath in a 4 count, y'all. And then you're gonna hold it for 4 counts, and then you're gonna release it for 4 counts. So you go in, inhale, hold it, exhale, hold it, get all the good out the lungs. Inhale one more time, hold it, exhale. Last breath together. Inhale, hold it, exhale out. You can do that on any count that feels good. It's typically great to expel it longer than you inhale it, but that takes time. So if you can start at 4-4-4, throw a little Jay-Z, in there, then that'll work for you. You can remember that, right? And then as you develop like a practice of intentional breath, then you want to expel it longer and longer every time. If you could get to twice as long, which is 8 seconds, that's really, really optimal for your body. It puts oxygen in great places in your muscles. It releases some fight or flight response, or just saying, or prepares your flight and flight response for what it needs to do out here in these pandemonium streets. So no worries. Either way, it's really, really helpful. Thank you so much, Danielle. That was a beautiful exercise. I've done a couple of different types of letter writing, and that was really helpful. Those very specific prompts were so great. How did you come up with those specific prompts, and maybe how you've used this in the past?
One of the things that I like about the prompts is it's based in an important dynamic that I don't think we pay a lot of attention. In some sense, when trauma arises in our lives, as it comes as uh, a huge boulder from out of nowhere that seeks to, in some sense, crush us. And we learn when we think about trauma that, in some sense, it's hard sometimes for us to get back up after
Mm-hmm.
traumatic experiences. And we have discovered that one of the hardest pieces about getting back up is this idea that I have to let go of what I thought the future was supposed to look like. I thought my future was going to be me having this, and this, and it turns out I don't have that. I'm left
Listen.
with all of this crap over here that I did not imagine was going to be in my life. I thought that these folks was going to be declared guilty, and they weren't. They were declared
Or
not
even
guilty.
indicted.
I don't understand. I don't understand because I saw the video, and I thought everybody saw the video and saw what I saw, right? I realized that I thought my life was I was going to be in this relationship for the rest of my life. I was going to be at this job for the rest of my life. These particular people were going to be my support system, and then something happened, and all of that has disappeared. She told me she didn't want to be with me no more.
Mm.
He told me he didn't want to be in my community of support no more. This job, in light of COVID, told me my job doesn't matter. My job is expendable. And so now we have discovered that the hardest part, everybody says, get back up, don't stay down, get back up. But we don't actually tell people how to do that. The hardest part about getting back up is reimagination. Reimagination. I have to now reimagine how my life is going to be now and what is now. I can no longer get lost in what I imagined uh, that my life was going to be years ago when I imagined. In some sense, this exercise is asking us to reimagine our lives, start all over from the beginning with a fresh, new, clean, empty slate, and repicture, revision all over again. And so we've learned that what challenges us most from not being able to get back again is we're stuck in old fantasy, and we can't seem to break out of old fantasies that we imagine for our life. And so I'm asking us to break some fantasies because those fantasies no longer serve us because they're not real. They're not what's happening in our lives anymore. I had a fantasy that I was going to be with a particular person and we were going to spend the rest of our lives together, and that was going to be that. And then that fantasy fell through. But if I don't find a way to free myself from imagining what could have been, then just like Alice in Wonderland, I get trapped in a forever hole, tunnel going downward. That's a downward spiral of a fantasy that is not realistic. And so how do we begin to free ourselves? Free ourselves from what should have been. Free ourselves from what could have been and live in what is.
So I'm processing that. I'm processing. I've been doing a lot of exploration in just both theological imagination and then just Black imagination, like these concepts of Afrofuturism, and so I'm finding I have all those swirling thoughts, right? So how am I letting go of and processing through, right? Processing through, because letting go can also be a thing. But letting go, processing through all of the things that did not happen the way that I thought that they were going to happen. And living into what is in a beautiful, healthy way, that there is beauty available right here today, even if, the beauty that I thought was going to happen did not happen. But there is beauty right now, today, available. And then also not allowing the things that did not happen in the past, not allow these non-indictments, not allow the additional restrictions on voter laws that they're trying to pass, not allow lukewarm policies and bills that are still coming through, not allow all of those things to prevent me from living into what still can be, what absolutely can be, and that there is a Black self in the future. Yeah, that's quite a timeline of things. I mean, I rode around, Danielle. I rode around in this one particular car. I love this. It was an SUV. Love this SUV. Let me tell you something. I had never cared about a vehicle before, like what type of vehicle it was. Like I care about what the food doing. I was like, listen, if it's got brakes
Right.
and a steering wheel and the oil is changed and some gas in it, I will drive the thing, right? But finally got to this place where someone who loved me was like, no, I want you to like have a thing, want a thing. And so got this very particular SUV that I was going to fill up with babies, Danielle. Like, listen, we was about to fill up this whole, it had a third row. You heard me? Like, this how many babies was about to
That's it.
Right. I had so much room and space for babies and an idea of what I thought my family was going to be and what it was going to look like. And then here we are. Right. And I had to drive in that vehicle for years and years and years with looking in the rearview mirror, literally what you're saying, what did not happen, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing my empty seats in my SUV. And it was just me. And eventually I wasn't even in that relationship anymore, in that marriage. And so I didn't, no more partner, no more babies. Like lost,
Come on, come on, come
lost
on.
all the babies that I at least was blessed with to hold in my body, and that was a lot. It was a lot, and so I had that
Yes,
reimagining. That reimagining became key because I needed to look at what was available. What could I still birth, right? What could I still pour into? How could I find other ways to mother and to nurture and to be who I still felt called to be? And so this exercise was deeply helpful for me because I also needed to reimagine my identity outside of just like mothering in one very specific way. Um, and the gifts and the life and all of the things that is still available. So I enjoyed this a lot. I hope this helped some folks on the line. Replay this, play this for somebody else. You send people random memes and gifts all the time. I know I do. Listen, that's how I live my life. It's
me
gifts and
too,
memes.
me too, me too,
My love language.
me too.
So send this to someone and offer this as an exercise, a pathway to healing available for them, especially that graphic with this beautiful Black child, definitely leaning into the future of Blackness and even looking in that one direction, right? And what didn't happen, but also what is now. What is now. So thank you super much. This has just been super yummy time of healing available for us. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
I want to remind the people
I
for those. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to also ask. We also want to invite people to also encourage people to please, 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 if you don't already have a relationship with a mental health therapist, please get one. Please, please, please get one. Some things are hard. We cannot pray it away. We cannot praise it away. We cannot sing it away. We cannot smoke it away. We cannot drink it away. We cannot pill it away. So please, 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 we want to invite you to check out these wonderful mental health resources. Please go to one of these websites and grab a mental health therapist from this list. What I love about this list are these are therapists who specialize in the concerns of Black people, Black people, Black people, and so you can come with all of your full humanity, your full self as an Africana being to therapy. They particularly have a specialization in listening to the concerns of persons of color. If you don't mind, I would also ask that you share this flyer, share this, screenshot this, and share this because someone needs to know that these resources exist for us, by us. So please share these resources, family. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And just for all the different ways that people access, right, space and information, let's just read them out, right? So we got this beautiful Black child showing us the way right here. I just want to like be her when I grow up or be them. And it says hashtag Black Mental Health Matters. The first website available is www.blacktherapistrock.com, and the therapist is plural, so blacktherapistrock.com. And then we have therapyforblackgirls.com, therapyforblackgirls.com, and the girls is plural with an S. And then melanin and mentalhealth.com. That just did something to me. That felt good in my bones. Melanin and mentalhealth.com, and
Yes,
yeah, and ant is spelled out. Then you have therapy for blackmen.org. So this is the first one that's a .org family. So therapy for blackmen.org, and the four is spelled out FOR. And then is this a dot something? Help me with the beam dot community. Is there a dot com or a dot org after that? Or is that just
no,
like
no, No. It's different. It's different. I saw the same thing. It's just www.beam.community. That's it.
All right. Well, we here for it.
Beam
I
stands
like,
for
I
Black
like the concept
Emotional
of
and
dot
Mental
community.
Health Collective.
Got you. Okay. So
Yeah,
www.beam.community, the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective is what that stands for. And then last but absolutely not even remotely least, we have nqttcn.com, nqttcn.com, and that stands for National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network. So you have 2, 4, 6 options available to you that you can access mental health, you can access support, you can access this type of wellness. There are lots of modalities of wellness available, and this is just one. So reach for wellness and allow some wellness to reach back. Allow yourself a container where healing is possible. You deserve. Let me say something. Your Black body absolutely deserves to be well. And the principalities and the white supremacy in high places that seek to rob you of what you deserve, rob us of what we deserve, rob us of justice, rob us of access, rob us of wellness, rob us of housing, rob us of dignity, rob us of humanity, shall not
that's
win.
it. That's it.
So we're going to lean into what we deserve. We're going to speak
That's it.
ways of access that this can happen. And if nothing else, you are not alone, right? You are not alone in your depleted state. You are not alone out here in this pandemonium streets. You are not alone in any kind of way. We are all going through. If you sit down and talk to anybody in a real way for longer than 5 minutes with a mask, socially distanced, obviously, like it will become very apparent very quickly all that we are carrying, all that our bodies remember, all that we are holding, and we need a woosah in the biggest way. And there are people who have already put together access, already put together resources, already waiting on the wellness that is available to you. So here are just some of the ways. Reach out to our fam who are attempting to do good work in the world, to hold space, hold beautiful, objective, loving, honoring, therapeutic space for your Black body, for your Black story, for your Black narrative. You go in there with your journal, go in there with your pen, just lay yourself before somebody in a way that you maybe have never before, and allow them to hold you in this well way and journey with you as you do the wellness work. So good, so good, so good, Danielle. Thank you. Want to make sure everybody remembers that we're rocking all day. It'll be different links, I believe, every time. So the broadcast will come back up as we go through. You got another hour with us, so don't even get excited. Like we still here. Danielle and I are going to rock for another hour. So right here at the top of this next hour, just a reintroduction for folks that maybe just woke up, because daylight savings time. We talked about this in the beginning. It's early out here. Danielle and I have been talking to each other since like 7:30 Central AM, texting last night before we was going to bed. Like we need to go to
Look
sleep so we
here.
can
Look,
up early. But
look.
listen,
We was talking at 11 o'clock last night at 12 midnight at 6 o'clock this morning.
right. And we was like, okay, but before our Black people, we gonna do this. So for those that are just joining us, for those that are just coming in, I hope you have your coffee. I hope you have some water. I hope you have a way to hydrate yourself. I hope you didn't miss whatever you were supposed to
That's
be, because it's
it.
cravings and it's an hour different than when you went to bed. So today
You're
is a
right.
day of Black healing, a day of Black wellness, a day where we want to honor these Black bodies that we reside in. Our body suits, as my pastor, Reverend Dr. Gina Stewart, calls it, our Black body suits, right? So Black Lives Matter Louisville, the healing team, and trauma response and crisis care for movements, track for movements. We are vibrating all day long on a healing day. And Black Lives Matter Louisville are officially dropping a healing fund. It's on the bottom for you. It's a shortened link. It's a bit.ly / Black Femme Healing Fund. And we are hashtag trusting Black women, hashtag love Black women, and we want there to be wellness. To do so, in order to support hashtag Black Femme Healing, we are announcing a fund that will support the healing needs of Black femmes. Now, this healing can come in so many ways, right? So massages, therapy, all kinds of wellness practices. This can be Reiki. This can be whatever it is that you need. Like, even like a nutritionist. Just think of all the ways that healing can show up, right? So, we want to lean into all of these ways and make sure that there are no barriers to receiving all of the healing methodologies available to Black femmes. So that's the modalities themselves, meaning we were talking about you go reach for the wellness, right? And then the wellness is available. And then on the other side, we want to make sure that the wellness continues to be available for the Black bodies that need it. And so one of the barriers of wellness is the costs associated with like state mental health, both, school programs, but also the licensure, mental health, social work, even, massage therapy. All of these different things are regulated in ways that can be cost prohibitive for Black bodies. So if you want to go get this certain type of licensure, if you want to go get this certification, whatever relevant things are necessary for you to do your healing work in the world, then we want to address some of these hidden and lesser known costs that hamper access to Black bodies, healing Black bodies. So we don't want there to be an issue on either end. We want you to be able to get the healing, and we want the people who want to supply the healing to be able to do so. So right now, type this bit.ly into your screen, bit.ly with the / Black Femme Healing Fund, and go and give right now to support Black wellness for Black bodies. Thank you all so much for being here today. We're going to rock for another hour, me and Danielle, and then you got more folks to come. And of course, how better to end the day than Black joy? Woo! Listen, I'm getting some joy right now.
That's it.
So we're gonna end with a Black Joy night, and we want all to come in and be welcome and be joyful together, especially out here again in this panini pressed pandemonium pandemic. We want to be able to find ways to be together and to access joy. So we have Danielle Bahuro with us, and she is walked us through a very specific tool of wellness earlier. So when this rebroadcast, or if you're able to go back, if you just joined us, we wrote a letter to ourselves, y'all. We did some breathing and we wrote a letter to ourselves. And the prompt was, what didn't happen and what is now?
Whew. What didn't happen and what is now?
What are the things in our life?
What didn't happen and what is now?
What are the things in our life that didn't turn out the way that they were supposed to? Some feeling words about how that felt. So not just the it, right? Not just identifying it, the things, but also identifying how we felt about it.
Right.
The feelings that we felt about it. And my favorite thing, listen, I be out here evangelizing, discipling. I be out here discipling with feelings. Okay. So I be like, woo, y'all need to come get these feelings. And so I have like 2 favorite feeling wheels that I just be like passing out.
Awesome.
I text them,
yes.
Email them, I post them. I will find a way to post this.
Yes, I love it.
So people can access
and
even language of their feelings.
Yes, and you know what I love? I love when we talk about journaling and writing our feelings in our wonderful journals and with our wonderful pens. Did you know? I didn't know this. I just learned this recently. Did you know we live in this age of technology where we're constantly using our phones and computers to type and text? right? But do you know, psychologists say that there is something therapeutic about literally taking a pen and holding a pen in your hand and
Yeah.
writing. And we've often missed that as our world moves into more technologically advanced forms of communication. We miss that through texting and typing. But this idea that you can take a pen, hold a pen, and free write, that is a form of release that has what we call therapeutic impacts and allows us to begin to release emotions that have been pinned inside of us. And so I want to invite you. I know that there's wonderful computers and tablets, iPads that exist today, but I want to invite you, if you don't mind, do this old school method of picking up a physical pen and literally allowing your hands to write. I'm telling you, this is a wonderful pathway to resilience that will help us to address our trauma and help us feel good. You actually feel good when you take a pen and actually free write. You will feel good. And you also, now this is a big one, Mahisha, what you actually feel. You don't have to keep it all clean and pretty and cute and sophisticated, right? So, even though I am a ordained clergy, I'm gonna say something on this Sunday morning, Pastor Shelton. I'm gonna say something on this Sunday morning. I love journaling because I get to write all of my cuss words. Oh, I just let it rip. Okay. I don't say nobody this Sunday morning watching, so I won't say them. But it's the idea that I get to just let it rip. I get to say exactly how I'm feeling. If I'm pissed, I can say I'm pissed. I don't have to say when I'm writing, oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I don't have to say any of that. I write in my journal, no, I am pissed. I am pissed, right? I can write all of that. And it's okay. And it feels so good to have that release from this pen onto the paper.
And it does. And one thing that I noticed about my hand holding, my utensil holding writing is that I've gone back. Like, so, we start off with the big fat pencils because that's how we learn how to hold the pencil, right? And then we move to the regular size pencils, the number 2 pencils, and especially with all them standardized tests we had to take. And then we get
That's it.
so
That's it. That's it. That's it.
we get so excited when we move into a pen because we like, woo woo, we writing with a pen now. We grown out here. I got my pen.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
You could not write in ink until they told you could write in ink, right? And so all this time I've been writing. Listen, I don't know at what point in my adulthood, but I was like, I kept reaching back for this pencil, like reaching back for the pencil, like. I'm gonna have to preach that one day because I kept reaching back for this pencil because I got to a place where I wanted to be able to write and be able to erase in the moment. Right? Yeah, they said, "Woo!" When that pen hit in third grade, that's what I'm talking about. You was in third grade, like with your chest puffed out,
yes.
right? Like
yes. Yes.
Like a tattoo.
Yes.
No, and all you have is a pen. But I have gone back now and I'm writing in pencil more and more, and I mostly use mechanical pencil. And so it's totally a psychological effect of being able to write and not feel like it can't be undone, not feel like, oh, if I don't put it exact right, in the right position on the page, or because I still kind of write the same way I take notes. So you start off on one end and then you indent a little bit.
Right.
So I do all of that when I write out. If I do it with a pencil, I can just, in the moment, I can erase. In the moment, I can make it be what I want it to be, even if when I put my pencil down the first time, it didn't start off. That whole what didn't happen.
Man.
Wait, erasable pens. Okay, wait. You're going to have to, after the broadcast. So we got a comment that there's erasable pens, washable markers. Listen, I'm old school. I don't know about these things. So y'all got to help me because all my trust is built on nothing less than that mechanical pen. Okay, that mechanical pencil. So y'all got to
Right,
help. I don't need anything,
right.
but yeah, something about that. And so feeling that it calms me. Like I don't feel the pressure. Like I don't feel the pressure of the permanency of the pen, right? And it does
Yes,
something. So
that's
thank you
it.
because I can see that.
That's
I can
it.
see this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Can I,
awesome. Y'all
can I,
rocking with
my
Black
sister, can I,
Day of Healing. Absolutely. Please, folks that are just tuning in, give to the Black Healing Fund. And we have Danielle Bahuro, who has walked us through this exercise and going to continue to talk about healing through the end of this hour. Absolutely. Go ahead.
can I also say something? Can I also say something?
Say all the stuff.
Something, so good to see, Reverend, so good to see Reverend Jamel Garrett and Pastor Latasha Ellis with us also on today. I also want to say writing is a form of resistance to white supremacy because it is white supremacy that tries to tell us not to share our feelings, right? And
Mhm.
that white supremacy even trickles down to religion because white supremacy has taken over Christianity and tries to tell us, no, don't write that, don't write that. That doesn't look good. It doesn't fit in our image of perfectionism. I was researching Adam Clayton Powell. I can't stand Adam Clayton Powell Jr. A lot of people love him, but Adam Clayton Powell Jr. was one of the first African American preachers in the civil rights movement to say, no, we only need, we only should have certain types of reputable African Americans fighting in the civil rights movement. African Americans who may be gay or lesbian or bisexual need to take a back seat. And so Adam Clayton Powell believed that in some sense that image means everything. And in some sense, we begin to internalize that, right? As Black folks, we have felt like, okay, in order to advocate for our rights, maybe it's about getting the white man or the white woman to affirm us, to celebrate us, to like us. But guess what? We'll soon discover that that is not the purpose of life. The purpose of life, my purpose in life, is not to get a white person to accept me, to agree with me, to believe in me, and to affirm me. My purpose in life is for me to affirm me, not to have someone else affirm me. It's called self-esteem for a reason. The famous, infamous theologian named Cat Williams said it's called self-esteem because it means the esteem of yourself. And so, in some sense, when we write, when we journal, when we practice these pathways to resiliency in the face of trauma, that is journaling, that is writing, that I've highlighted today, in some sense, it is a way that we are pushing back against white supremacy, pushing back against internalized racism, which would try to tell us, no, stay nice, stay pristine, stay clean,
Stay
present a
respectable.
beautiful image,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
stay respectable, yes.
and I love me some Cat Williams. So he said, I'm gonna probably get the language wrong, but he said something like activate your key player, right? Your key pimp player. And he was like, now when you gotta build yourself up. And I love how he moved. He's just so comical. And he was like, you gotta put your shoulders back. And then he starts going through the whole thing. And that's real. Like you gotta activate it. Because the world will try to strip it of you. The world will try to tear that down and tell you that what is in you is trash because it doesn't come out in the way that they want it. And I'm really thrown by this imagery of who should do civil rights and who should like this. I mean, what in the world was he talking about? Could there not be anything more beautiful than the folks who are being the most pressed to be those that are the lens and the voice of liberation? So go away. Just go over there. These juniors, I don't understand. These juniors, like just Lord help them, because I'm from Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. So listen, that Billy Graham Jr. and that Clayton Jr. and I mean they're not really a junior, but you know what I mean. Them second comings of the hot mess.
Right,
Like
right, right.
no, like go get some analysis, right? And go get some relationship. Like
That's
actually go
it.
be in a relationship with a broad spectrum of humanity. There is just a whole host of humans available for you to know and to love. And absolutely, respectability will never save us. That's not a thing. It hasn't saved in the past, regardless of how we thought about that. And only authenticity can. So how are ways that we can show up as our authentic selves? There is healing available in that. And not to get too languagey in mental health, but an aspect of it is integration. They talk about your integrated self. So if you take all the ways that you present in the world, how you present at work, how you present at home, how you present in public, how you may present in a faith setting, how you present on the streets, how you present in the potty, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
got all these different ways that you present in the world. But the more you integrate, the more you are able to integrate all of those selves, that authenticity is actually liberating. Is so freeing that it makes wellness more possible. And that's the deal. So there is liberation and great freedom, which and by which comes great wellness, from integrating all of those cells, for not allowing the limited types of imagery to define or determine how we show up in the world. Because to that. And that takes
Yeah,
time. And I'm
most
not saying
definitely, most definitely.
right. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that this is just something that happens overnight, but reach for it. And eventually you will get to a place where you are unabashedly yourself. And that unabashed self is exactly who you are supposed to be. That is who we need, that is who we love, and that's who we will love. So absolutely. So a couple questions for
Most
you
definitely. Most
as we as
definitely.
we close out a little bit, just talking about like um healing for Black bodies. What is some of the work and the ways that you are doing in the world currently? How are you healing Black bodies in your particular location?
I'm in Chicago, and I my profession, my career is in hospital chaplaincy. I particularly work as a educator, a professor or teacher, if you will. It's called a formal title is a CPE supervisor. And usually in the past, when we thought about chaplaincy, we've talked about the ways in which you provide pastoral care to people when they come into the hospital, when they get sick, and have to go to the hospital or need a surgical procedure done. We provide care. You provide care as a chaplain to those in the hospital. However, what I'm discovering is in the last 5 to 10 years, ever since the untimely murder Trayvon Martin, what we are discovering is in this whole age of police brutality, there are people in community who need pastoral care. There are people in community in the streets who need a chaplain, who need someone to talk to, someone who they can let their hair down. Now, notice I didn't say a religious pastor. I said a chaplain, right? A pastor's job is to evangelize, proselytize, talk to you about going to see Jesus, right? But so we've discovered that chaplains are needed now more than ever, especially in community, because Life is about more than just simply evangelizing and proselytizing. Okay? I don't need to keep talking about going to heaven, right? We need to focus on the here and now and what's going on right now in our world today. And many people are hurting. Many people in community are sad. Many people have experienced trauma. And they are looking for someone to journey with them, someone to say, I'm here providing a listening ear for you. And I'm here providing these therapeutic resiliency strategies and interventions to help you deal with this trauma. Notice I didn't say just pray with you, or notice I didn't say just sing gospel songs with you. I said chaplains are needed to provide trauma resiliency strategies and interventions for folks. And so, in the last 5 years, my own call is shifting. My own call is shifting to thinking about how do we provide pastoral care or spiritual care on the front lines to people who are out here protesting, people who are suffering in community. What does that look like? People who are find themselves as the victims of police brutality. Even all of our brothers and sisters who find themselves as victimized from some form of oppression need to have a chaplain, need to have spiritual care presence, need to have a pastoral presence. And so that's where I find myself um, landing beyond just the four walls of a hospital or healthcare institution, but in community. And so I'm excited about this opportunity to teach other people how do we journey with folks who are hurting in community. Um, what are steps we need to remember? What are things we need to remember? Like, don't be judgmental. Number one, stop evangelizing and proselytizing and talking about Jesus. Everybody don't believe in Jesus. And it's okay. You don't have to pray with people. That's okay. You can't have a conversation, Reverend, without mentioning Jesus' name, right? We have
Right. Like, how
authentic,
can you just
genuine
be like, do
conversations.
you know, like Jesus, like, even if you get into the Jesus piece, right? Like, Jesus walked around and was just being with the people. So how can you just be? Like, how do we just be humans with each other as we journey through this very hard human things? And you should not have to give honor to God, who is the head of my life, and honor to the deacon board, and honor to the first lady, to the first man, to the first human. Like, you should be able to have conversations. Like, you should be able to have conversations with people and be with them, be present with them, and just love them in the
Yeah,
position that they are,
I
where
I'm gonna
you meet.
tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I hate when I'm talking to people. I hate when I'm talking to religious folks. And watch this. I'm gonna say as a clergy. Oh God, I hate people do something crazy. People do this silly thing. You say, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. Oh, but shut the hell up. Throw the whole day away. Get out of my face. Right? Why can't you just say you fine? Why can't you just say, I'm good. Everything's good. Just had a good breakfast this morning. Go have a great day today, right? Oh, the joy of the Lord, my strength. Shut the hell up, right? No, 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 no. No, no, no. We need to be teaching our brothers and sisters. This is how you journey with people in community. Leave the religious cliches at home. I know those religious cliches sound good to you on a Sunday morning in church, but those religious cliches are empty and lack meaning and lack substance when people are hurting. Uh, that's becomes so important. That becomes so important.
And so I've taught now in two theological settings, and specifically in psychology. So I wrote a whole degree program about applied psychology. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Real quick in the comments, somebody said, Black Lives Matter said, and highly favored implies that there are others who are not favored. And
Right.
there is something to think about that, right? I mean, so don't even, I am not going to take Black Love Day and Day of Healing to get into Zionism and and the ways in which there are folks, we are indoctrinated with who is chosen and who is not chosen. So without going too far into that, let's be clear that we find ways that we can declare that we are blessed, right? Like, what would that feel like to declare that we are blessed? And also, there are blessings available for everybody, for all the bodies, right? And what could that look like? So if we are going to cliche our way to freedom, maybe we make new ones. Maybe we find new ways to express,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Maybe we find new ways to speak blessings to other people, to speak life, to speak blessings, because that there's still a love language found in whatever the faith is, right? Cause listen, let me tell you something. Somebody roll up to me with them with the listen, woof, the way my Muslim brothers and sisters greet each other and roll up, and my sister, and it's just so beautiful. Like, let's find ways to still be able to function in our cultural tradition. Oh, I love that. I am blessed and wish blessings on us all, is what was offered in the comments. How differently would that feel to decenter yourself in the orientation of the blessings, to name that you are blessed, and that's an acknowledgement of thanks, of gratitude, and also offer that to others. And I even think about that again, back to the greetings and the way, like, Muslim siblings address each other, and address me. Oh my gosh, I feel immediately family. Like, I feel immediately like there's a place where I get to enter in, right? And so how do we do that on a broad
Mm-hmm.
way, however our faith shows up? I can't remember if we talked about Danielle. I grew up Baha'i, and listen, the way they set a table, the table
Hey.
in. There were so many feasts and festivals and communal celebrations of goodness in the world that was not directly tied to a particular person.
Yes.
So in the comments said, even in the Catholic tradition, peace be with you, and then they will say, and also to you, right? And so and it's this continuation of a blessing, a continuation of the peace that is available. So how do we find ways? We don't have to throw away the theme and the context of what we're trying to say, but how can we do it in a more
Oh,
well
thank you.
way? How can we impart,
Thank you, my sister.
right?
Thank you, because I be trying to throw it away. So thank you for
No,
helping. You're helping me, my sister. That's why I love you. You help me. Because I be wanting to say to hell with it all. I just be wanting to say to hell with it all. Let's just totally disrupt the whole system. The way Jesus did. The way
right.
Jesus did. Let's go in and overturn some tables and just start over from scratch. Start over fresh and new.
And that's necessary. That's necessary. We live in a disruptive way. That's why we rock with each other. So I am here to disrupt the things, and I'm trying to figure out how to disrupt the things without dismantling the person, right? So I'm not seeking to dismantle the
I hear
person,
that.
but absolutely seeking to dismantle
I
the
hear that.
systems that move in, and they've bought into that this is the only way. There
Right.
are other ways available, y'all, other ways
Right.
of speaking, other ways of teaching, other ways of being present with people.
Right.
There are other ways, and let us access that, because how do I look at my aged grandmother, right, who has deep, beautiful wisdom to give, and some of those cliches got her through, and I get that. Like, I totally get that, and I honor her experience.
You're right.
And now, how can we lean into how to offer that today in a way that still gets somebody else through, as opposed to exclude them,
True.
as opposed to not being present with them, right? And so I live in a hundred different worlds, Danielle. Sometimes I feel like, so that's the only reason that
No, I
yeah,
love it.
and I
I love it. I love it.
yeah, so I love that. So awesome, thank you. And can you give us a little detail, because I give the people, right, a little more detail about the trainings that you've been doing to equip chaplains to do frontline frontline chaplaincy, if you will, and what that looks like. I know you've definitely been rocking specifically with people who do want to dismantle systems of policing, systems of violence in the various ways that they show up. So what has that been looking like? How could people maybe in your Chicago area access that, whether they're on the side of the violence or on the side of wanting to provide the care of those impacted by violence?
Awesome. There's a couple of ways. First, check out this wonderful organization. Check out this wonderful organization called Live Free Chicago and Live Free Illinois. Feel free to Google that. Live Free Chicago and Live Free Illinois. It's a wonderful organization here in Chicago that sends trauma response community chaplain team to incidents or events of violence that happen throughout Chicago and throughout the East St. Louis area. Oh man, it's a wonderful organization. Live Free Illinois, or thank you so much for highlighting the website. Also Live Free Chicago as well. So that's one organization people can reach out. People can reach out to. Number two, I'm really excited. Number two, oh man, are you ready to hear something hot off the presses, my sister? Are you ready to hear something hot off the presses? Okay, all right, hot off the presses. I in September am starting my own clinical pastoral education program or center called Sankofa CPE Center, starting in September. So I am going to be accredited by the Association of Clinical Pastoral Education to offer CPE units to persons who want to get a unit of CPE and work as a chaplain, particularly in some social justice environments, right? So now you have protest chaplains that are needed during our time, and so you can come hang out with me at Sankofa CPE Center. It'll be kicking off in September, so please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook if you're interested in more details to come. I can't say too much, or else my association will kill me, because technically I'm not supposed to be marketing it before September. So that's all I can say right about now. But feel free. September. I'm going to be offering.
Exciting. That is so exciting. Sorry for interrupting. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, Danielle, this is so amazing. And thank you for like explaining the difference, right, between like chaplaincy and one specific religious based presence. Like that's not what this is, right? So chaplaincy and so Leslie, who is operating all of our beautiful behind the scenes tech, she just named it again. She said frontline chaplaincy. Like, so that just something in my soul just felt good. That was yummy language. So you have a way to equip people to do frontline chaplaincy, to support these bodies who are in frontline spaces. And frontline spaces can look different, right? But to have a set of people to do that is very exciting. Track for Movements last September did a very similar thing, and also, four credits for with the accreditation piece, and did that and walked people through a whole program with socio-political analysis and also different tools. And so how you can provide and make available very specific types of wellness for very specific types of people doing very specific types of work in the world. And that is a group that needs that. And so I'm deeply encouraged that this is happening. And right here, since it's breaking news, I want to, at being a part of like a core team member of track, and specifically I do like the rapid response piece. So I get that frontline piece. I go to the places.
Yes.
Right.
That's
So
it.
I would definitely like to partner if we can find a ways that Track for Movement can
We will
support.
do that. We will do that.
Let's have a whole
We will do
conversation.
that.
You do not have to listen. We do things the way we gonna get free is together. So let's figure out how Track for Movements can support you, can partner with you. Super dope, super
Thank you.
excited.
Thank you.
I am so excited. We're gonna pause right here. Well, not pause, but we're gonna take this moment right here. We want to offer another aspect. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Another way that wellness can enter into the world, and that is through an artistic medium. So my beloved, my friend, my family now, Reverend Asaji Foseku has given expressed written permission for
Oh,
us to
nice.
use his outlet of liberation, one of them, which is through song. And just a little bit about Reverend Sekou. We can put up his website or something in a second. But if you've ever rocked with Sekou, if you've been on front line with him, or you've been in a direct action training with him, or if you've just walked around long enough for him to speak, he's very clear in analysis and in action, but also deeply rooted in belief. So yes, he is a reverend, but when he speaks about belief, he's coming from a place of what we know to be true. And so he is actually speaking in this song that he's allowed to share. The title's so simple, something that obviously didn't come from him, but I believe, and he's talking about the belief that we will win. So even in lieu of a year since our Breonna Taylor was taken from us in such a violent way, in a year of the pandemic, in a year of inequitable access to vaccines, in a year of chasing Black men down the street when they're trying to run, in a year of white folks getting so into their feelings that they storming capitals, in a year of all the things that we have experienced, all the Black bodies that have hit the ground, in the year of that, I know at least I can sit here and still say that I believe that we will win. And this is Reverend Asaji Seku's artistic expression of the same. So enjoy this moment, and we'll be back after his song, and we'll close out and wrap up together. Love you, family.
I believe that we gon' win. I believe
Is Sekou not a breath of fresh, the whole breath of fresh air? Like, oh my goodness, so good, right? Oh, you're on mute, Danielle. Come back to us. We want all this voice.
I'm sorry. That was awesome. Oh man, that song was awesome.
And it
Man,
only,
I didn't
it
know
only,
he could sing. I didn't know
Hey,
that he could
he
sing.
coming back. He do.
we thought all was lost. We got many more mountains to climb and rivers to cross. But I'm foolish enough to still believe that we're going to win. Yeah, I believe that we're going. Yeah, I believe. That we going down in my soul. I believe. Oh, Lord, that we going. I know it looks dark sometimes, but I believe. Yeah, that we're going. Yeah, I believe that we're going. Hey. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Those who came before us with their wildest dreams. Yeah, I believe there is I believe. Hey, I believe. Hey, see, my grandma would say, she'd say, trouble in my way. I gotta cry sometime. I lay awake at night. I lay awake at night. I believe that we're going. Hey, I believe that we go
That was
Listen,
awesome.
how can you not believe after that?
Hey, that's it.
Is that possible? Listen, I believe everything. Now listen, I believe we're gonna win.
Man,
I believe we're gonna win this freedom. I
right.
believe we're gonna win collective liberation. I believe we are gonna win this wellness. I believe that we are gonna win healing. I believe that we are going to win. Oh my gosh, is that not the best way to kick off Black Love Day, a day of healing? Mm. Love my Sekou. Thank you, Reverend Asaji Fo Sekou, for allowing us to use your artistry, your artistic expression of resistance and joy. And did you see? Listen, just because I know and love Sekou, did you see his face when he said "my grandma"? So Sekou smiles all the time, but Sekou got that my grandma smile, and that smile, that's Black joy right there, right?
Yes,
That's
it is. Yes, it
ancestral
is.
ancestral presence. That is just such an honoring and an acknowledgement of how he was formed and who he is in the world today. We are who we are because of a whole lot of Black people before us, right? Oh,
That's right. That's right. That's right.
so good. So I do believe that we will win. Thank you, Danielle Bahuro, for being part of our day today. We want to make sure we highlight again that this whole day is centered around the way that Black bodies can access wellness. So that means we want you to access wellness in these spaces. So stay tuned as we continue to broadcast all day. There'll be different facilitators, different hosts, different healers, different modalities of healing. So come through Black bodies when you turn your notifications on. When Black Lives Matter Louisville goes live, you want to be in the place. And go to the bit.ly down here, go to the site. It's a GoFundMe, bit.ly, bit.ly/Black Femme Healing Fund. Make possible the ways that Black femmes can access healing and modalities of healing, as well as the way that Black bodies can access providing that healing for others. Is going to be so good. So I'm going to close out again by thanking you, Danielle Bahuro. Thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing in recipients, for heeding that call, the recipients of Lenten Devotional for Dismantling White Supremacy. I'm so glad that that's the way that we met, that our ecosystems aligned. I'm so honored to be in your presence, so grateful for your Black heartbeat, grateful for your life,
Thank
grateful
you.
for you show up in the world, and grateful for how we're going to get this work. We're going to do this healing work together. I'm so
Yes, 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 yes.
any last thing you want to say before I close us out?
I want to say thank you so much for this invitation, my sister. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate your hard work. I so appreciate your energy. I so appreciate your commitment to justice. Not everybody is committed to justice, but you, my sister, are certainly committed to justice. I want to thank my sister Leslie. You can't see her, but Leslie has been working so hard to put this show together, and so definitely we would be remiss if we didn't send some love Leslie's way. I want to ask you, family, to please check out my book. Check out my book. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble if you don't support Amazon. Spiritual Care in an Age of Black Lives Matter. Spiritual Care in an Age of Black Lives Matter. If my mind picks up that book, I'm telling you, it'll change your life. It's wonderful strategies and interventions in it that highlights resiliency. for us in during this time. Spiritual care in an age of Black Lives Matter. Thank you, thank you, thank
Do
you.
you have the book in front of you?
I do, I do.
Okay, come through, book.
Okay, here we go, here we go.
Look, we can do, yes,
Check
spiritual
it out,
care
check it out,
like
check it out.
in the red hoodie, examining the spiritual and prophetic needs of African Americans in a violent America. We have a foreword by the amazing Shaniqua Walker Barnes, who is amazing in their own right. I can't see the very bottom of it. Who's the Butler Jr.? There we go. And an introduction by Lee Butler Jr. Lift up all the voices that go into this beauty. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Everybody get the things by our
Thank
own name.
you, thank you.
And this is how we met. This is how me and the
Yes, yes, yes,
yes, it was
yes.
so good. And there are people all over the country that wrote in the text in the different ways. And I'm again glad that this is how we became family and how we were introduced to one another. I'm going to close out in the way that has become my custom. I don't care if it's at this point, I don't care if it's a speech, a keynote, a sermon. Listen, Mary Hooks has shown us the way, both with her life and her work. And this is the mandate that she gave years ago. The first time I came in contact with it was 2016. So I don't know if it predated that, but it has spoken life to me. So I speak this to all of you, the mandate. And she specifically says, this is the mandate to Black people in this time. And she says that every previous generation had a mandate. And so do we. Woo! I get excited. Okay, so she says the mandate is to avenge the suffering of our ancestors, to earn the respect of future generations, and to be transformed in the service of the work. So Black people, that is our mandate, and healing runs all and through all of that. So we shall avenge, we shall earn, and we shall be transformed. Thank you, Mary Hooks, for your life and your words. Love all of you, Black family. See you soon. Yes, Leslie, come here.
Baton Rouge to Asheville to Minnesota. Black bodies and police violence is showing that this country is crushing under the weight of white supremacy. Black leadership, y'all said to us, every generation has a demand. And you're right, we do. Here's what it is. Divest from prisons, jails, courts. The vision of justice for us does not include cages. The vision of justice for us allows us to walk in our communities with safety and dignity for all Black people, those that are differently able, Black women, Black children, queer bodies, trans women, all of our brilliance deserve that. That is public safety. So whoever's defining it, come talk to us, because we have a different vision. Get behind it or get beside us. And the organizations and the communities and the people we represent. We just getting ready. And to all of our people who are listening, all of the people across the country right now, all of our people in solidarity right now, from Canada to South Africa, all of our people in Palestine right now, this is a different moment that we are in. We have a mandate. And damn it, we gonna do it. Call and response. The mandate for Black people in this time. To avenge the suffering of our ancestors. To earn the respect of future generations.